largest river in North America. So we only ask, just hold your photos. The best photos are going to be up on top, I promise. Okay, should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on.
For half a century, Minneapolis milled more flour than any other place in the world. One of the greatest flour mills of them all was the Washburn A Mill, which ran around the clock until the day it closed in 1965. The mill lives on in the memories of the men and women who worked there.
It was quite the sight. I still can't believe it myself. When I start that water wheel, it'll start to go, and you'll see that big shaft start to go, then a rope drive starts going. Then that rope drive would drive 8 floors of machinery, all from the water from the river. It was exciting enough that schools would bring most of the kids down to watch you start that mill. To me, it's still amazing.
Attention please. General Mills production sales goals for the 6th consecutive month. Business has never been better.
The mill stood at St. Anthony Falls in their corona of flour dust, like blockhouses guarding the rapids of the river. The grain poured in from Montana, the Dakotas, the Red River Valley. It poured into the Minneapolis mills.
Minneapolis, the mill city. The flour milling capital of the world.
Where is a market to be found?
Minneapolis speaks the world. From the fields of Dakota to the markets.
The answer is the world is our market.
Cotton sacks and its grape jute cloaks filled countless red freight cars and poured out over the country and over the world.
Through the Depression when there just wasn't any jobs. There just wasn't a nickel to be spared anyway.
I felt so proud when I went home. I took the streaker and I had flour on my clothes that day. People were sitting there. They said, "Do you think I must have a job to get that flour?"
Nobody ever quit the mills except Bobby and Packy loading, which was hard and heavy work. You know, loading boxcars and sewing those things up and hoisting them onto a belt.
Gracie even had 140-pound sacks of flour we used to have to carry back to the boxcar. They're heavy. You shrunk it quite a bit when you put one of them on your back.
You get the flour on your head, you know, as you put it on your shoulder.
You would be just soaked with sweat.
Just like flour with water.
You'd comb your wrist to get the glue balls out.
My sister worked there, but it ended up that I was up there on the 5th floor where my wife was working. They were packing pipe all the bags of flour.
I think they had about, there must have about 8 or 10 women packing there?
One time I had to fire 4 of them at one time. Well, they were just young kids. They wanted to work on the same place all the time. They were boy crazy too, and they didn't get along with the rest of the girls. And I said, well, if you can't get along with the girls and do what I tell you to do, well, you're fired.
Delphine? Remember Delphine?
Oh, yes.
I remember Delphine Finna. She used to pack like 6 of them, and then she'd shut down at 3 o'clock. She'd sleep for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But she always got her quota.
Well, it wasn't bad work. Kind of heavy work at times, but it was okay. We had a bunch of girls working there until these fellows came back out of service and took our jobs away from us.
They had people working there that all they did was, they call them sweepers, with these big brooms, you know, industrial brooms, and sweep all day long. The place was immaculate.
Well, there's a lot of danger equipment there. You walk by these belts and these things. We had some that were 3 feet wide, and you walk by it, well, the sparks will fly from it. You get too close, it's just like a jolt of lightning.
We used to put belts on the run. We'd throw the belt on. It took an art to get them on the run. Very dangerous, but anyway, we got the belt running, and the millwright was standing in front of it. So it was moving, and the belt came apart. Hit him right in the head, leveled him, knocked him unconscious. He come to and he wanted a cigarette.
I remember one time on the midnight shift, I come up, I saw an orange glow. I ran over here, there's a motor on fire.
I mean, you talk about getting your heart going, adrenaline going, I mean, because next thing it's going to pull up those suction pipes right in the filter, and then you're going to have a massive bang. That roll floor up there where the rolls are, that's a lot of power. You respect it, because if you don't respect it, it will chew you up and spit you out. It will.
When I got promoted to second miller, I said, before that I'd always tell her if I ever got up to making $25 a week, we'd live like kings. Well, I finally made it. I never got up to living like a king.
They said they were going to shut the mill down, and we were all kind of surprised.
Nobody had an idea. In fact, they had it on the news before we knew about it. My wife knew about it before I did. I remember Ralph by, he came up to Humphrey, he had tears in his eyes. I said, so it takes matter. He says, they're going to shut the plant down.
Being, you know, the view we have here, looking over it, it was always just vacant. I was on second shift, and one of the lab persons called up the mill and said, hey, look across the river. I was here when it burned down. Dark, clear night, and then the city behind it, and you got this big inferno on the river.
A lot of times at night I can dream about still working there after all these years. So you get the strangest dream, and I said to the wife in the morning, oh, I'm all worn out today. She said, why? I had trouble at the mill last night. I think it's something you'll never forget.
Well, they finally shut this mill down in 1965 after 85 years of operation. You know, there were a couple of reasons, but the big reason, newer, bigger, more modern mills closer to where they were growing the wheat in the Dakotas, Montana, powered with electricity. They didn't need our direct water power anymore. And that fire happened another 21 years later. I'm born and raised in this town, and I got to tell you, back in 1991, I know this river. It was a mess. There were abandoned mills everywhere, machinery strewn around. The Stone Arch Bridge was boarded up. There was no river road. It was an industrial wasteland. And what we think happened is some folks got in here to get warm. On a cold winter night, they started a fire on the inside. That was their mistake. Wood floors, flour dust everywhere. The good news is they got out. And more good news, this was a slap in the face to Minneapolis City Hall. What are we doing? We have the largest river in North America running through the center of our town with a waterfall. And we're letting both sides of the river turn into an industrial wasteland. And that's when the magic happened. And I think we should go up and see how it turned out up on the 9th floor. What do you think? How many are from the area? Can I see you? Okay, that's good. There were other reasons they closed this mill down in 1965. You know what the profit for General Mills was on a 5-pound sack of flour? 5 cents. Stockholders were getting nervous. Come on, General Mills, spread your wings. Become an international food company. And that's what we started doing. Well, would you join me? I'm going to do something really quick, and then I'll go to the 9th floor.
Great.
Please take the stairs. If you don't take the stairs, I'm going to stand here and catch you.